You walk into a store, excited to buy the latest tech gadget you don't really need. It's shiny, new, and everyone's talking about it. You convince yourself it's a smart investment, but within hours, you find yourself spending even more on accessories, upgrades, and new features you never even thought about before. Sound familiar? What if I told you that this isn't just a mistake in judgment, but a psychological trap, and that one purchase could be setting off a chain reaction that drains your wallet and changes how you live? It all starts with a seemingly harmless purchase, a new phone, a laptop, or even a high-end pair of sneakers. At first, it feels like a small decision. You've worked hard, so why not treat yourself? But here's where it gets dangerous. Once you bring that shiny new object into your life, something unexpected happens. The world around you starts to change. Your old phone, which you were perfectly fine with a week ago, suddenly feels outdated. It's not just about the phone anymore, it's about everything that surrounds it. Your worn-out charging cable, your old phone case, even the way you store your device, they no longer feel adequate. So you upgrade. You buy a new charger, a premium case, maybe a fancy pair of wireless earbuds. The cycle begins. But this isn't just about getting the best tech. It's about maintaining a story where you're the person who has everything, who's always up to date with the latest trends. And as that story unfolds, you start to see the cracks in your old life. Your home, your wardrobe, your routine, they all start to look out of place. But it doesn't stop there. As you continue to upgrade, something strange starts happening. Your sense of self shifts. It's not just about the gadgets or the physical items you buy, it's about who you are becoming. You've seen it in the movies, right? The character who walks into a store and buys a luxury car to symbolize their success. It feels like an external reflection of an internal transformation. But that's the trick. The car isn't just about transportation anymore. It becomes a symbol, a marker of your new identity. And once you've crossed that threshold, everything else in your life feels like it needs to match up. You walk into your home and suddenly that IKEA furniture doesn't seem so stylish. The cheap dining set, a stark contrast to the leather interior of your new car. The plain old sofa, it looks ridiculous next to your new lifestyle. So you start upgrading your home, piece by piece, so everything aligns with your new luxurious identity. But here's the kicker. You're not just upgrading your things, you're upgrading your story. Your identity is tied to the upgrades, and once you've made the first change, you can't stop. The tension between your new self and your old environment continues to build, and the only way to relieve it is to keep upgrading. But here's where it gets really dangerous. As you keep upgrading, you start to realize that these purchases aren't just fulfilling a need or desire, they're becoming essential to who you are. You buy a luxury car, but now you feel like you need a high-end wardrobe to match. You invest in a sleek, state-of-the-art home gym, but suddenly your workout clothes feel inadequate. Your old sneakers look out of place in this new world you've created. So you replace them with the latest, most expensive gear. And it doesn't stop there. You can't go back. Once the cycle begins, each new purchase demands more. Your new designer clothes clash with your old furniture, so you upgrade your living room. Your premium headphones don't match the old TV, so you get a 4K model. Your kitchen feels outdated compared to the new appliances you've just bought, so you renovate it entirely. What was supposed to be a small upgrade turns into a complete overhaul of your life. The spiral intensifies. And it's not just the physical objects. The way you spend your time shifts too. You begin to crave experiences that match your new lifestyle. Luxury vacations, five-star dinners, exclusive events. Your life becomes a curated collection of high-end possessions and experiences, each item reinforcing your identity. You're no longer just living, you're performing. You're creating a story for yourself that demands perfection, and every little imperfection feels like a betrayal of the image you've built. But here's the thing. Every upgrade comes with a hidden cost. It's not just about the dollars and cents you're spending, it's about the emotional toll these purchases take on you. When you commit to this never-ending cycle of upgrades, you lose something important: freedom. With each new item, each new experience, you become more entangled in the web you've woven. Your identity is no longer just a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of what you own. And that's where the real danger lies. You're no longer making purchases out of need, desire, or even enjoyment. You're making them because you're trying to meet an internal standard that doesn't even exist outside of your head. You start measuring your worth by your things. Your self-esteem becomes linked to the products you buy, the brands you wear, and the lifestyle you lead. The moment you're caught in this trap, you start to realize that you've become a slave to your possessions. The very things that were supposed to bring you happiness now dictate your every move. You don't get to enjoy your new car anymore because it's constantly in the back of your mind. How do you maintain it? How do you protect it from the inevitable scratches and dents? You start living in fear of losing your possessions, of them becoming outdated, of them failing to reflect the perfect version of you you've worked so hard to create. So what can we do to break free from this cycle? How do we stop the spiral before it consumes us? The answer lies in awareness and intentionality. First, you need to predict the chain reaction before making a purchase. Before you buy that new car, gadget, or piece of furniture, ask yourself, what else will this require? Will it demand a new wardrobe, a new home renovation? Will it change how I live or who I am? By anticipating the full cost, beyond just the price tag, you can make a more informed, conscious decision. Next, try the one-in, one-out rule. If you buy something new, get rid of something old. Whether it's a pair of shoes, a phone case, or a couch, eliminating the old item keeps you grounded. It forces you to truly value what you have instead of constantly seeking the next upgrade. You stop collecting and start using. This simple rule can help you break the cycle before it spirals out of control. And finally, consider strategic downgrading. This may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes the best way to reset your baseline is to intentionally lower your status symbols. Drive a slightly older car than you can afford, wear simple, functional clothes, live with fewer possessions that add genuine value to your life. When you do this, you free yourself from the pressure of always keeping up with the latest trends. You can enjoy your life without the constant need to upgrade. Remember, true freedom comes from the ability to be content with what you have, not the need to constantly acquire more. The moment you stop chasing the next purchase to complete your story, you become the master of your life, not the slave to your possessions. Don't let consumerism define who you are. Be intentional, live simply, and you'll find that the most valuable thing you can own is the freedom to choose what truly matters.